about what we do together is that do we look for patterns or models in the brain that would explain why we are happy to see a work of art because we would recognize something that exists before in our like pre-concept in the brain or something? Or is art something that at the contrary is making a sort of perturbation in your brain that suddenly you perceive something that you are not used to, and that would be more the factor of surprise, or that art renew your way of dealing with the world? And to me, actually, because we are always talking about already preconceived ideas, but I think it's much more interesting to see how the brains adapt, because it's so plastical, how the way the brain can reinvent the real through the experience of art. And I think Semir Zeki,
no, let me make the point here.
It's a point, huh?
No, let's not have a misunderstanding here, please. Let's not have a misunderstanding. This is the discussion we always have here. We have to, as scientists, as neuroscientists, distinguish between two domains of functions. These are the logistical functions, which sort of provide a framework, which is temporal organization, for instance. And then we deal with content. And you talk about content, and the content sort of is implemented in the temporal structure. These are completely different implementations on the brain level. So of course, in order to be surprised, you need a frame within which you can be surprised. So there are some kind of pre-semantic machineries, temporal integrations. These are time windows. So we do not create the content. For instance, temporal integration is not created by what we process, but uses temporal stages, windows within something is implemented. This, I think, this is my strong point, and I fight for this, because then if we do not distinguish this, we always have misunderstandings. There's no problem at all to agree, for me to agree what you are saying.
The artists renew the perception of the real.
Yeah, but you cannot renew the basic neuroanatomy and the physiology of the brain. This is the basic reference point we have to accept.
Yeah, but how do you explain then that?
Can I just say?
No, we want to hear him.
I have a friend who's asthmatic, and she talks very quickly. So when we're talking about 2 to 3 seconds, are we talking about a breath? In other words, the parcellation of cognitive activity is actually limited by the lungs, i.e. we're going back to the body, or is that not the case?
Data, we are talking about data. We have studied many languages. In French, in Italian, in Spanish, you talk twice as fast as in German. The temporal segmentation is identical. Stutterers, there's always a reference point. To say he is talking faster, you need some kind of framework to say he is faster. So this is what I'm talking about. Let's distinguish between content and logistical functions of the brain. Otherwise, we get into okay? The brain is extremely conservative. Extremely conservative.
That's why sometimes an artwork cannot be understood immediately by one person or even by one generation, because we need this time to get used to it and to be able on a brain level to get it. No.
Look at the children in front of contemporary art.
It depends what art I would say.
Because of course, but it depends what art anyway. But look at them. They have this sort of understanding of something that is beyond any possible explanation. No, they do. They comment on that in a way that is
they have no cognitive diaphragm.
Contemporary art is a language that
Yeah, we have to
codified yet.
we close with Philippe. We give a last word to the arts. Since we are here.
Pazzesco, Jackson.
Lei
We have
aveva delle preferenze.
I think neuroaesthetic could be not to see in the past, but maybe in the future. Because if you are thinking about physiology during the 19th century, it changed completely the way to live and to think and I think neurology could change the way in the future and not in the past. So I think it could be interesting to see in Wagner or some in the past, but also to to project in the future. And physiology, for example, it changed completely. We go to the beach because we understand that the yod change the goitre, and so we invent the beach through this idea. And so I say, and also modernity, is also a consequence of physiology. And I think neurology could have a future consequence, and I think it's very interesting.
You said before you are interested in enlarging the possibility of perception in a way. Then I wrote down, Vittorio Gallese said he is interested what neuroscience can contribute to the understanding of art. Zeki, Professor Zeki said he is interested what art could contribute to the understanding of the brain. So we have a really range of approaches here, but I think it's very, very interesting to bring them together in the future. Thank you for coming.